Hello, welcome back to Roseburg Speakers and Storytellers. We are a Toastmaster club based in Oregon, and we meet every week at 7 a.m. Oregon time. Guests are welcome always, and always. We mean it. So Chitra, Nivere, how are you today? Welcome back and thank you for taking a role. We hope that you are going to enjoy the meeting. So, members, let's get started. And our Toastmaster of the day is Amy Harshon. Let's have a round of applause for her.
Fáilte galéir an madan tá sé análinn chun feicfid na aigs le gach duine ann, agus begamuid galéir an seo le haig an Toastmaster meeting. Thank you. This is Irish. I was speaking and I welcomed everyone. I felt a little bit like an Irish mass with Fáilte Rómh go léir, which means you're all very welcome. And today I've given the theme of our meeting is all about languages. I am currently attempting to learn a new language, and unfortunately haven't quite got to introducing everyone in that language yet. Maybe in another couple of weeks I'll be able to do it in Spanish, but we have other far more competent Spanish speakers here today who will be able to introduce themselves. So as I introduce each person, I invite you to say something in a language of your choice. It can be your native language, it can be a language that you are learning, you're trying out, even a language that's just made up. You know, there's many people that have done that band Sigur Rós, they just made up their own language. We also have the dialects from Star Wars or anything like that. It's an open playing field. We are welcome to hear everything. We want to hear different twists and tales with words. I believe language is our gateway into other cultures and other understandings, and it's the different way we use our tongue, this different way to get our minds around other people and everyone else and just bring us all together. Well, I now would like to begin with the meeting and introduce everyone who's our team today who's here to help out. And our first role taker that we have is our grammarian, and that is Citra. Citra, would you like to say a couple of words in a language of your choice and introduce your role, please?
Hello, am I audible? Yeah? Selamat malam from Bali, selamat pagi, selamat siang, semuanya. So I just greet you with my bahasa Indonesia. I said, good evening from Bali, good morning, and also good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Nice to seeing all of you here as well. And I'm so happy that today, as a visiting guest, I could be able to take the role. And this is my first role as a grammarian. So as you might know, my role as a grammarian is to pay a very close attention towards all the speakers. So I'll take a note of any improper use of languages, the word of the day, and also if there's any outstanding words or quotes. And also, as a grammarian, it's also my duty to introduce you to our word of the day for today. And the word is related to language. It would be convey. I believe it's still a familiar word to you. So the definition of convey is, according to Merriam-Webster, is to communicate a message or information. An example of use. Mr. Harvey and his daughter have asked me to convey their very kind regards. So convey has a similar meaning with communicate, to deliver a message or an information. Each of the speaker is encouraged to use the word convey in their speech later on. And as a grammarian, I'll be also report to you the number of the word of the day and also the notes that I take during the meeting. Cold open the meeting later on. That would be all, Amy, for me. Terima kasih. Terima kasih is thank you. Thank you.
Terima kasih. Thank you.
Terima kasih.
And that was a very thorough, and I hope that we all get to convey our different roles and our different languages and themes during the day. Our next role taker is Navira. You are our counter. Please say some.
Thank you. Thank you. The purpose of the R counter is to listen attentively to fillers, crutches, unnecessary sounds, and so on, and many more. And at the end of the meeting, I will be called upon by the general evaluator. Then I will present my report. Thank you very much. Over to you.
Thank you very much. Would you like to share a little word in a language of your choice?
My language of my choice is similar to Chitra's, but I can say in Hindi, Namaskar, Shukriya. Namaskar, good morning, good evening, greetings, and Shukriya, thank you. Shukriya, thank you. I think, Yasmin, you, I think probably are aware of this word. Thank you. Shukriya, thank you. Shukriya for having me here tonight with you all across the miles. Thank you.
Well, shukriya, thank you for your wonderful, thorough introduction. Our next role taker is Gabby. Gabby, would you like to share some words in the language of your choice and tell us about your role, please?
Hi, Amy. Everyone, hello. About a few days back, I read something very fascinating in a marketing book. It said some people maybe fancy rich for everybody is time poor. To elaborate, people today have multitude things justly for their attention, and therefore your company marketing effort shouldn't waste their time. This is very sense to the role of the timer in Toastmasters. In Toastmasters, every season has preferred time limit to speak. As timer is duty to the speaker be a way for their time when they are in the stage. For prepared speech session, I share my screen. For the preparing screen speech section, sorry, the time allowed is 5 to 7 minutes. For 1 minute, we flash the green, sorry. Okay, yes. For me, 1 minute will flash the green card. For for 1.5 minutes, the amber, and the 2 minutes, I show the red. For the speech evaluator, the time limit is 2 to 3 minutes. 2 minutes, I will flash the green card like this. At 2 to 5.5 minutes, the amber, and the 3 minutes, the red. The speech evaluator, the time limit is, sorry, the table topic season and the grammarian, the time allowed 1 to 2 minutes is the same. I show the green, amber, and red. And for the general evaluator, the time limit is 1 to 4 minutes. Back to you, Amy. And I show some word in Spanish. I think when you say hello, friend or family, you can say ¿qué onda? Or ¿cómo estás? This is the word. Back to you, Amy.
Muchas gracias. ¿Qué onda? Oh, ¿cómo estás? Yeah, learning each word one by one. Thank you very much for that thorough listing of the timekeeper's role. Our final role taker that I'm going to call upon this morning is our general evaluator, Tiger. Tiger, would you like to come to the stage and please share a language of your choice as well, whatever it may be, as creative as you want to be.
Merhaba, my fellow Toastmasters. My role is going to be to give an overall evaluation of the meeting and also to introduce all the role players after the speeches and table topics. To secular, back to you, Miss Tabletop, Miss Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Tiger. That was to the point, which we need. I'm running a little over time now. So I will give a brief introduction for how our meeting is running today. We'll have 2 prepared speeches, and then we'll have our table topics. Everyone has an opportunity to do a bit of impromptu speaking. And finally, then I will hand over to the general evaluator, and we'll hear our evaluations of everyone who spoke. Now, to begin, the first section of our meeting is our prepared speeches, and I would like to invite our first speaker, who is Michelle, and Michelle is speaking from the Strategic Relationships Level 3, which is creating effective visual aid. So I think that it's pretty self-explanatory. We're going to see some nice visuals with Michelle, well, however she interprets that, with Michelle's speech today. And her speech is titled Revisiting Europe. Michelle, please.
Thank you very much, Amy, Madam Toastmaster. Europe is something that's always been in my dreams. Long ago, when I was growing up, I would read books about Europe, and it was just such a fascinating place. So many different languages, and the architecture, just conveying something about old world, about old civilization. I first got to visit Europe in 1999. I thought it would be the only one, but fortunately, I had other opportunities in the years after that. There was no Facebook yet back then, so I couldn't share any pictures. Finally, when I visited in 2009, that was the time that Facebook was around, so I shared. If any of you want to see more of my albums, you can go to my Facebook page. But now I just want to share some pictures of places that had some significance for me. Let me very quickly start up my screen and share some of my pictures. Oops, click. Come on, click. There you are. I could not afford to stay very long in different places. So this was 2009 was a what you call backpackers trip. Literally, I had a backpack and I went from different places. Madrid, it was a beautiful country. I mean, a beautiful city, made even more beautiful by the fact that their high-speed trains were very efficient. And I even got to visit a Toastmasters club, Excelencia Toastmasters, and they invited me to join them for tapas afterwards. The picture you see is when we were having the post-meeting party, real party with wine. And then from Madrid, I took the train and went to Sevilla. I was on a tour bus. I love Sevilla. And for those of you who used to watch Game of Thrones, some of the places in Sevilla would look familiar because it was where the Dorne, Dorne, I think, for Game of Thrones followers, that was where they filmed Dorne, the Kingdom of Dorne. Unfortunately, my camera went out of battery when I was in Sevilla, but I managed to snap this beautiful building, which was leading to Alcaraz, the most famous palace. No more battery by the time I got to Alcaraz. Lesson learned. Granada. Some of you may know the song if you listen to old songs. Granada, I'm falling under your spell. Well, these are the beautiful palaces, especially the Alhambra, which makes Granada in the southern part of Spain just so special. And then I can never name which one is my favorite city, but Rome is way up there. I don't even need to put the words Roman Colosseum because I know you know. The upper picture is the inside of the Roman Colosseum. There have been thousands of years, so it has been damaged, but you still see the awesome magnitude of the Roman Colosseum. And of course, I had a picture with a Roman centurion outside, and he even lent me his fake sword. Rome is not complete without visiting the Vatican City. You see the St. Peter's Basilica tower at the back. And then, of course, going into the Sistine Chapel, there were so many beautiful paintings on the ceiling. My neck was getting stiff after a while trying to take pictures. I think, but everybody else, that is the mandatory walk. You go through the Sistine Chapel. And then in the evening, a visit to the Fontana de Trevi, which again, another song, 3 coins in a fountain. You toss the coin into the fountain and you hope that you'll come back. And yes, I am going back soon. Another favorite city, Venice. I don't have to say anything more. You can see from the pictures, it is a city that is surrounded by water or is on water, basically. Now you're wondering, why is there a picture of a Burger King? Because the restrooms in Venice were so expensive. You have to pay 1 to 3 euro just to use the restroom. And then I found a Burger King where, of course, you use the restroom for free. So I took a picture. I was really happy to find it. From Venice to Vienna, the home of the Vienna Opera House. The building is so high. You can see a picture of me up, and then all the way you see the seats, but the sound magnification is incredible. You can be up where I was and you can still hear the sound. And of course, we went to visit the Schönbrunn Palace, which is where the Royal Habsburgs live. And finally, the main reason for me to be in Europe was actually to do a seminar in Prague at the Czech Republic. I did a seminar for macro. It was just a short seminar one day. And after that, I got to travel around Prague. This, you see me in front of the Prague Palace with all the spires. Prague, by the way, is nicknamed the city of 100 spires. I think they have more than 100 spires. I also I went around the city. What you see is the Parliament building on the left and the Prague Concert Hall on the right. And I discovered that there was a medieval dungeon in one of the palaces up on the hill. What you see on the left is an actual prison cage for the medieval prisoners. And I was just leaving for the airport. I realized there's the astronomical clock. It is the oldest astronomical clock in the world. And it was built in the 15th century, 1410. And of course, talking about time, it's time for me to go and to revisit Europe. So here we come, and back to you, Madame Toastmaster.
Thank you very much for that, Michelle. You really conveyed your love and your curiosity that you had around traveling around Europe. I loved that little trip, and I was recognizing a lot of the photos you were sharing. I want to invite you back. Would you like to give us a little something in a language of your choice? A little word or two?
Actually, my preferred language is English, which we all love, but I also speak Tagalog. So good morning is magandang umaga. And in Cebuano, which is one of the leading dialects in the Philippines, it is maayong buntag. So see, we have different languages. Tagalog is magandang umaga, Cebuano is maayong buntag. The cool thing is thank you is the same, salamat, in both dialects. Over to you, Madame Toastmaster.
Salamo for that. I was trying to remember the two and it's like, whoa, they're both no, too big. Salamo. I can't thank you very much, Michelle. Our next speaker this morning is Yasmin, and Yasmin will be talking to us will be speaking from Leadership Development Level 1 Evaluation and Feedback. And this is the first time she's doing this. So she'll give this, she'll receive feedback from her evaluator, and then she'll give the speech again at a later time, having worked on it. And the speech title is A New Discovery. A New Discovery, Yasmin.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Toastmaster of the day. Dear Toastmasters and fellow guests, have any one of you recently had discovered something about yourself which you never thought existed in you, something you never knew is in you? I want to take you on my discovery. I want to share you a story about what I discovered about myself and how it changed my life. 2020 had impacted all of us in some way or the other, and I was not an exception. I had done only 3 to 4 things in my life. That's studying, working, traveling, and sleeping. And yes, that's it. These are only 4 things I have had done in my life. And I used to call myself a traveler. And imagine the first thing that happened with the lockdown. You're not allowed to travel anymore. Imagine my situation, the situation of a passionate traveler locked down. 1 year, whole 1 year. Do you think I have had no frustration, no annoyance, no depression? Don't fool yourself, don't fool yourself. We all had it. I had the worst. I had the worst annoyance, worst depression, worst irritation, worst frustration, and dejection and rejection of everything. And what do you do when you are facing all this? Time was just not passing by. I had nothing. I just had a notebook and I had a ballpoint pen. And the only thing I started doing is to just make a repetitive design just to pass on your time, something most of us might have had done in our college when we don't like the lecture from our professor. Exactly that I was doing. And then every time when I was doing, I was thinking about my biology class, because I used to think, oh, this is something I used to do in my cell diagrams. I can give you a hint of what I actually mean. Look at this diagram. This is exactly what I used to do. And I was doing again the same. I was just making repetitive circles on a notebook, day in, day out. And I was like, okay, this is it. Until I realized that these circles changed to something like that. I was just circling, circling, circling. And it just became like this. And I was so surprised. I was so surprised. I was so taken aback that this is what I could do just with the repetition. If you're thinking these are my creation, it's a mistake. I am a big copier. I copied everything from Facebook. All my designs were from Facebook. The only thing I knew is that I can replicate it. And you know what? Slowly, everyone started me encouraging it. They said, oh, wow, you look like a painter. Can you teach us how you do it? And I was like, honestly, how can I teach? I know nothing about it. The only thing I know is that you have a pattern which you can repeat. And to my surprise, my friends started requesting. They sent me a design and they said, can you draw this for us? I was like, honestly, can I try? And I started trying. And you know where it ended up to? Let me share with you something. This is my recent work that I did. I received a request from my friend and I drew a lion and I drew a Durga, and it's just the repetitive same pattern, the same biology class work that I was doing. You know what? This discovery of mine took me by complete surprise. My friends were telling me, you have a talent, which you yourself don't know. And I had to believe them. I never knew I could do it. I never knew. And even today, I don't know how I do it. The only thing I do is to repeat the pattern. So what all did I learn while doing it? And why do I do it? I did it because it helped me to focus. The moment I start doing it, time flows by. I don't realize that 1 or 2 hours have passed. And I think that is what is meant by meditation. That is what is meant by being focused, that you don't even realize that time has gone by. The frustration, the annoyance was taken over by worry. I would worry about my next painting. I would worry, how would I sketch it? How many days it will take? How many ballpoints will I need? So it was all a positive worry. It was no more frustration, a complete de-stress. And what helped the most was the appreciation. The appreciation from my friends. I am still taken by surprise when every time they send me requests and they say, wow, you did a great job. And through this very short story of mine, I want you all to believe and truly believe there is something within you all that you have not yet discovered and you have not yet explored. So please take the chance. Don't limit yourself. There is anything which is fascinating you, just take the chance. And you know what? The worst situations brings the best. I am so thankful to COVID. I'm so thankful for that lockdown, and I'm so thankful for that frustration that helped me discover another Yasmin, another art that I did not know existed in me. Thank you, and back to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much for that, Yasmin. And would you like to share a language of your choice?
Sure, I speak Hindi the best, and maybe I will introduce 2 words of Hindi which you might have not heard that frequently because they are rooted in Sanskrit, which is first is called pranam. So you might have heard namaste, and this is the higher version of namaste rooted in Sanskrit, which is pranam. And the other word is dhanyavad, and dhanyavad is thank you in Hindi. So maybe it's a higher version now, as is like, we go for something informal, casual, but this is something which we would say to our elders. We would call them pranam and dhanyavad. Thank you.
Yes, I remember Dhanyavad. Yeah. And I was curious, what were we going to hear a little bit of Spanish from you? Because I know you're learning Spanish too.
No puedo hablar más, ¿ya? Yo entiendo más que de puedo hablar.
Huh? Good. Oh, it's more than me. Thank you as well for that speech. It was really beautiful to have the passion of this new skill you've developed that's flowing through, and I think that's what people are feeding into. They're seeing the passion that you have in there, and they want it and they're inspired by it. So it's that's really lovely. And also I think you really conveyed your artistic skills. Our next section that we're moving on to now is our table topics, and I would like to invite our table topics master, and I will remind our table topics master, feel free to throw in some language of your choice as you're introducing your role or yourself. Well, I'll introduce you as well. So I'd like to call Alice along to get everyone shaking in their boots with a bit of impromptu speaking. Alice, please.
Γεια σου, Amy. Kalimera. Kalimera means good morning. In Greek, of course, because I'm Greek. Kalimera, kalinichta, good night, good evening. Kalispera. Kalimera, kalispera, kalinichta. Today, for table topics, I have chosen quotes from famous people about languages. I love quotes because I think that they are espresso for the mind. They make me think and see new options in things. So I would like to share my screen. I haven't done it before, so I'm not sure if we will make it. If I will make it. Okay. I have 8 questions, and sorry for that. My first question goes for Gabi. Gabi, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I hope that is the right one. Yes, it's Federico Fellini, and his quote is, "A different language is a different vision of life." What do you think of that?
I think it's true because, but I don't share the same thing. A different language is a different vision of life. Maybe because each person of each country have different culture, different I don't know, language. And I think because I think the people that live in, I don't know, in India, they are different culture about the religion. And for example, in Mexico, we have other ideas about the, I don't know, about the woman or about the work. I don't know, but it's true. 50-50. I think it's a good paraphrase. Paraphrase. It's a good paraphrase. Yes, Ari. Thank you.
Thank you, Gabi, for your answer. And now I would like to go to Federico and ask him, and I will go together. Federico, are you there? No.
Yeah, partially I'm here.
Hello, Federico.
Hello,
He
Ali.
who knows no foreign languages knows nothing of his own. I was very impressed from this quote. What is your opinion for this quote? What do you think when you hear this quote?
It's a hard topic to say because I have heard that when people only know one language, they tend to be in a way smarter because they are focused on one field. But I don't see how it's related to myself that, for example, I speak a foreign language. It is something that is really difficult to guess because, like, for example, when I'm speaking in English, I think in English, I do not think in Spanish. But I don't know how, for example, it's like a self-discovery, the knowledge of a new language. I will say that self-discovery in my experience is something not related to your language, but it's something about you. What is your interest? What are you trying to accomplish? It's not exactly related to the language that you know. You might be able to think in a different language. And I remember a person that I met in Poland who speaks 12 languages fluently. And one day they asked that woman, and Alma, I have a question. In what language do you dream? And her answer is, when I dream, I only hear voices or sounds, but I do not speak in a specific language, because she was so fluent in the 12 languages that even the locals didn't identify any accent. And when I met her, it was like that. She was able to switch from Spanish to Polish to English just like nothing. But as I cannot see like my relationship, like the language and my personal person, I will say that as route of self-discovery is something that tends to happen the older you are, because you are less biased to what people are gonna tell about you. While languages is a difficult topic because the older you are more scared that people will criticize you, and you are less prone to learn new things. So I am not sure that you will discover more yourself, because on the contrary, you are more scared that people will criticize you because of your new learnings. Back to you, Alice.
Thank you, Federico. What I thought when I saw that quote is that, I don't know if I'm permitted to say, but I thought that when you learn foreign languages is because you care about other people, and you see things from different options, because foreign languages mean different cultures. So you learn many things for yourself by seeing the different options. So that is my explanation for that. But I like different explanations for the same thing. Thank you very much, Federico. And now I would like to go to Michelle for the third question. And I chose Michelle because I think that Nelson Mandela was one of your favorites, wasn't it? If you talk to a man in a language he understands, that goes to his head. If you talk to him in his language, that goes to his heart. What is your opinion for that quote? Michelle, Have you? I didn't know if you can hear me, Michelle. I can't hear you. Δεν ακούγομαι εγώ.
Alice, is it Excel or Michelle?
Okay. Okay. If Excel wants to take that, I won't have a
Me?
problem.
Sorry, me?
Excel, okay, I like it.
Okay.
I like Excel.
Okay, Alice, thank you. Okay, I remember okay, yes. Well, Mandela, in this message, he wants to convey that if it's like be to understand the other people, what is feeling or how is these people. So it's better that you convey what you want to say to another when you know how is this person, what is the problem, what is their problem or his problem, how they feel. So if you talk in the same language, in the same feeling, you can touch his or her heart. That's I think also okay, I think that it's the most important language that you have to use at the same situation that it's living the person that you want to talk with is. So I think that is this message that Nelson Mandela and he did in that time, that he moved, he touched many hearts in the moment that he made a revolution, or with all his message. I think that.
Thank you, Excel.
Thank you.
Thank you for your answer. Thank you. And now I would like to go to Angela. Angela, are you there?
Yes, I am.
I'm very happy.
My video on. Hey,
Angela.
I was suddenly thinking, why don't you can't hear me?
Angela, I have for you Helen Keller. And because I'm Greek, I had to find some quote for Greeks. So, if it is true that the violin is the most perfect of musical instruments, then Greek is the violin of human thought. What do you think for this quote?
If it is true that the violin is the most perfect of musical instruments, then Greek is a violin of human thought. To me, I've always thought that Greek is a center of civilization. Just think, a lot of our words come from, come down a bit, a lot of our words come from Greek. A lot of our things we say, oh, that's just Greek to me. And a lot of the Olympics, where did that come from? It came from Greek. When I hear the violin and I hear that beautiful music, the gentleness and the way it's just played, it just reminds me of this softness, this gentleness. And it's almost as if I'm going back to when music first started. When I think a lot of Greek, they came from the Olympics, the Colosseum in Athens, one on the hill. I had a memory blank for the moment because I have been to Athens. When I saw that, all I could think was, I'm here. I'm right here in Greece, where it all started. Imagine being at the birth of the human civilization with the violin playing. With this, I go back to our quote. If it is true, I say it is, that the violin is the most perfect of musical instruments, then Greek is a violin of human thought. This means, my fellow Toastmasters, that Greek, obviously, is the most perfect in language. Without Greeks, where would your language be? Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Angela. I knew I had to make this question to you. And I want Rukiaya. I don't say it very well, Rukiaya. I can't find my question. I believe I will find it. No, it's not that. Rukiaya, I will say to you because I can't find it. I don't know where it is. It is a quote from Maya Angelou. She says that I admire people who dare to take the language English and understand it and understand the melody. Do you want me to repeat?
Yes, please repeat it once again.
Yes. Maya Angelou says that I admire people who dare to take the language English and understand it and understand the melody. Here in Toastmasters, many of us try to speak English, including me, and it's our second language. It's not our first language. What is your experience? Because I think it's your second language too, isn't it?
Yes, understanding English and learning English, according to me, now in the moment we are living in, it is really, really important because now people are going to different countries and English is taken as a universal language. So everybody, if you are going to any of the places, there will be people who will understand English. So this is one of the universal language, and I feel is the most important language, because if even you are going for studies or you are going for some business exposures or you are going for some jobs or any of the works you are going for, if you will convey somebody some of your messages in English, somewhere or other they'll understand what you are trying to say. Instead, if you'll try to convey something in your own language or in a language that is not used universally, or not everybody is familiar with the particular language. Like, for example, everybody might not be familiar with Hindi that we are speaking in India, or everybody might not be familiar with Spanish people are speaking in Spain, or something, any of the language we can take. So I think that understanding and learning English is both very, very necessary in today's world, because everybody in today's world needs some sort of exposure, and English is one way you can achieve what you are planning to. So yeah, back to you.
Thank you very much for your answer. You speak English very well. I'm a bit jealous of you. Do I have time for any question? For any? No?
I think we're done. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Ευχαριστώ.
Say thank you in Greek again.
Ευχαριστώ.
Ευχαριστώ. Ευχαριστώ. Thank you very much, Alice. And they were beautiful. They were beautiful table topics. I love the insight into everyone's outlook on different languages and what it means for them, and how they deal with it and how they view it. Yeah, it's a really beautiful insight into everyone's different perspectives around language and culture. Our next section is all about evaluations, and it is the time when I move off the screen and Mr. Tiger McAndy moves onto the screen and takes over as the role of the general evaluator to introduce all the evaluators. So Tiger, please. I hand it over to you.
Makashi, Miss. And let's move into our evaluations. That was Bahasa, I think, right, Citra? That was close to Bahasa. Being that our evaluator is Indonesian. You, before you do your evaluation, we would like to hear something from you in a language of your choice. And then you can dive into your evaluation, Michelle. Thank you.
Okay, okay, my language of choice is not Indonesian, but Javanese and Balinese. I want to say good morning in Javanese is Sugeng Enjang. And in Balinese is Rahajeng Semeng. Amy was like, okay, Sugeng Enjang and Rahajeng Semeng. So one is Javanese, one is Balinese. Now I'm going to share my evaluation for our beautiful Michelle. She's in red. For me, that was a fascinating speech with a neat structure in such a great delivery. Fellow Toastmaster, are you agree with me? Yeah, see, every nod means a lot. Michelle, today you were very prepared. Even you dressed really nice. You smile, you were awake. You are awake. Okay, so Michelle, three things that I like about your speech is, like I said in the beginning, the structure and the delivery. That's the first one. The structure is obvious. The opening, the body, you say the opening and then the body, you share the PowerPoint. And then the closing, even though it's very short, but it's nicely there. It's very obvious, the structure. The delivery is still the first one. Your vocal weak, I could hear the speed and the song was nicely done. Short, but sweet. Your gesture, you use the hand, you use the facial expression. So the second one that I like about your speech is clarity. You spoke very clearly. At least I understand every word. The third one is the property. In this project, the visual aid, you choose PowerPoint, and I salute you for that on the good proportion of the color, the contrast, the shapes, and everything was just great. I have only one thing. I think me and Angela and I have the same thought over there. Message. I suggest to put something at the end, like maybe some invitation for people who, I don't know, maybe never travel. Like a little rhetorical question over there. Angela was sharing about, so people, maybe folks, take some photo, make memories. That was Angela one. But mine was like invitation. Just about what do you want us to remember about your speech? That's my suggestion. Finally, I would say, Michelle, we miss your speech. And this speech really, it's like, okay, this is Michelle. Would you like to share after your travel? Would you like to share that experience too? Fellow Toastmaster, we wait for that, right? So last, I just say, Michelle, it was entertaining and informative. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Wow, I'm a madam now. How do you say that in Indonesian? How do you say that in Balinese? It's so hard to get IU to laugh, but look what I did. I got her to laugh. How about that? All right, let's move on. Ishelle is going to evaluate our second speech. I am so looking forward to this. Ishelle, the floor is all yours to evaluate Yasmin's speech.
Okay, thank you, General Evaluator. Okay, well, Jasmine, new discover. First, I want to say the most impact and most important that you show was your enthusiasm. All the time was so great. How you say the message to the beginning, how you move, how just your expression, all the moment was fantastic. How you convey your speech. Then I like it, your structure. When you start with about that what you enjoy to do, what you like, and then the situation for the lockdown, and then the body of that you're starting to do some drawing, and also about your field, the biology, and how these how these go to you to the next level for make marvelous pictures, so nice picture, that how you discovered yourself, and then the end of your structure that enjoy to us to thoughts by ourselves, be confident also ourselves, and how discover and enjoy to discover to know something about us. And also I like it also the message that you have to trust in yourself, that be brave to discover something. I like it so much in that. About recommendation to take your speech to next level, I just put your computer a little up, because I saw here until here, so I would like to see you more and how that you move. I like it how you go near to the computer to say the message, but in sometimes I saw only here, so that's the only recommendation. And all your speed, I like it, and maybe in the close, maybe wrap with more enthusiastic as the same how you discover, because when you say, wow, look this picture, yes, you love it, that, and maybe also close in that moment that to encourage us to discover more about ourselves in that moment, just maybe close in that with same enthusiasm. That's all. But so great. I love it. I enjoy it. I love so much your message. It's so fantastic for all of us. Thank you, Jasmine. Back to you, Tiger.
Thank you, Ishelle, for a very thorough evaluation. I'm sure that Yasmin got a lot out of that. Ishelle, say something to us in your native language and let us know what you said. Something about Yasmin's speech, maybe.
Okay. Yes, I want to say that you are fantastic, Jasmine. In Spanish is eres grandiosa, eres fantástica. Felicidades.
Thank you, Ishelle. Now let's move to our guest from Indonesia. And this is going to be our grammarian for the day. Citra, the floor is all yours.
Let me share my screen, yeah. A moment. I'm using two devices, by the way, just to ensure that one, if doesn't work out, I have one as a backup. So here I am. Share. Okay. Oh, nice. It's showing. Here we go. Oh, sorry. I think I haven't changed the. Here we go. Yes. So the word of today is convey. And we have four Toastmasters who use our word of the day. Michelle one time, Excel one time, Amy and Rukaya 2 times. Great. Awesome. And beautiful usage of the language that I like. I took it from the speech of Jasmine, to believe that something within you that you have not discovered. As Jasmine discussed about her self-discovery. Your worst situation leads to the best, I think, situation or outcomes. Greek is the center of civilization and the birth of human civilization. That was also taken from the impromptu speech from Angela. Understanding and learning language is very important, one of the speakers. And also the spatial words. It was taken from the first speaker, Michelle. Also magnitude of Roma, when she was showing us about the beautiful pictures that makes us want to visit Europe soon. Hopefully. Toss the coin, medieval dungeon, repetitive circles, when Jasmine is creating the artwork, a big copier, and also self-discovery. The last slide about grammar and pronunciation. It's just a small correction. People, different culture, so we need verb here. So you can put like people have different culture, every culture, something like that. We just need verb here. All his message. It was pronounced as massage. So the correct one is message, all his message. You can see the pronunciation right there. In the close. So the correct one is in the closing. That would be all from the grammarian. Overall, it was wonderful and I like it a lot. Thank you. Back to you, Tiger.
Wow. Thank you, Citra. That was fantastic. I love how you put that in writing. So not only did you tell us, but you showed us. Very, very well done. Thank you so much. Now we get to have our fun part, the counter grammarian from Navarra. Navarra? Am I saying your name correctly? Is that correct, Navarra?
Thank you. Good to see everybody back here. I'm back again. Let me share the screen here. All right. What you see on the screen is the little flaws that were heard while the speakers were speaking. Overall, most of the speakers spoke very well, flawless, and there were no hitches or crutches or fillers. But a small number of and ums were discovered or were heard while the conversations were going on, and it has been highlighted here in the graph, so you can take a look here. And otherwise, the whole speech of the speakers was flawless overall, was very good. So this is the report from the R counter. Thank you very much. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much for that. That was a great visual. Although I have to tell you, that looked like my report card, you know, the one you got when you didn't want your parents to see that you got an F. And
I thought so, because the color. It looked more like a hospital card here in Malaysia.
It reminds me of a story when I got to the mailbox first, so my parents couldn't see my grades. Imagine that. And imagine I didn't get away with it. Sama Navarra.
Terima kasih.
This was fantastic. This was absolutely fantastic meeting. The last thing we need to find out is how did we do with timing? So I will give the floor over to our timer. Gabby.
Hello, Tiger. Hello, everybody. I share my screen with the times of everybody. Yeah, okay. For the speakers, Michelle Albalin, she had 6 minutes point 45. Jasmine, she had 6.33 minutes. For the evaluator, Aju Anantia, she had 3.33 minutes. For Richelle, she had 3.21 minutes. Grammarian, Citra, she had 2.80 minutes. And Iber, she had 1 minute only. For the table topics, I have 1.20 minutes. Federico, he had 2.58 minutes. Ichel, she had 1 minute, 1.59 minutes. Angela, she had 1.58 minutes, and Rukaya, she had 1.32 minutes. That's all. Thank you. Back to you, Tiger.
Fantastic. All three of our role players today had fantastic visuals to go along with their report. Thank you so much. That was excellent. Very well done. So let me just dive right into my general evaluation. Speech evaluators, an excellent job of giving accommodations, what you liked about the speeches. You gave excellent recommendations, something the speaker could take away, but the rest of us could also watch the speech and learn and take away. So very well done. Both the speech evaluations were long, but not overly long. Well, my mentor Michelle's not gonna like to hear this, but this is a joke. Michelle, be smiling. We have a brand new DTM. And she went 3 seconds overtime on her first evaluation since she got her DTM. Yes, way to keep with the spirit. DTM, don't time me. We do have a brand new DTM. That is not a joke. Our president is a DTM. So everybody unmute. Let's give one for IU. She's probably gonna kill me after this meeting for doing this to her, but that's okay. So anyway, getting back to our speech evaluations, very well done. Very well done. And I think that we can all learn from those evaluations, and those were two very, very good speeches, and very good speeches are always a little more challenging to evaluate. Table topics. Wow, that was fun. Alice, that was fantastic. Thank you so much. It was creative, it was fun. And you can watch, one of the things I always look at tabletop is how long did people speak? And everybody spoke for well over a minute because it was a fun, engaging question. And again, back to our three role players, our timer, Gabby, that was fantastic. I like when you put your times up. You kept the green card up, you kept the yellow card up so we could see that. You put it in the chat. Marian's report was wow. Citrate, you are a very experienced Toastmaster according to what you did today. I was extremely impressed. That was excellent. And the odd counter report, I love the visual. Well done. Great meeting. So now we get to have the fun part. I'm going to give you a name and you need to put in the chat what language that they use today as their favorite language. We'll start with Michelle in the chat very quick. First one, go, 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 go. Everyone put to everybody so we can all see it. Have fun. Michelle. Spanish. All right. How about Alice? Alice. Somebody put Hindi. I don't think. Alice, do you speak Hindi? Greek. It's all. I love that. It's all Greek to me. I've said that so many times. How about our grammarian, Citra? What language? All right. Yes. Indonesian, which is different. Now this is okay. So let's talk about our president. What languages did our president throw at us?
Bahasa Indonesia.
Balinese and Javanese, both. So Indonesia, wow, what a confusing place. You got Balinese, Javanese, Indonesian, and probably about 37 other languages. How about Michelle? What did our speaker, Michelle, what did she say was her? I think she actually mentioned a couple. Tagalog. Yeah, Tagalog. Right, Michelle? Tagalog. And there's another one. Phil, is there a Filipino? Is there, besides Tagalog, what was the other one you mentioned?
Cebuano.
Ah, there you go. How about our guest, Navarra? Hindi. Yeah,
Yes.
even though she's an Indonesian, she speaks Hindi, of course, because that's how she grew up. And our VPE. Oh, Malaysian. Navarra is Malaysian. I apologize. But you speak Hindi. Wow. Anyone
Hindi
getting
is my mother tongue. My mother tongue.
Ah, Hindi is your mother tongue, but you are Malaysian.
Yes, that's right.
Anybody getting the idea that this is a very international club?
What do I speak? Anyone know what languages I speak?
Angela, I almost forgot Angela. Angela,
Because I came in late.
Did you say?
I speak a bit of Latino Spanish because I lived in Central America for 2 years. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Qué tal? I speak a bit of French. Je parle un peu de français. I also speak part of another language. It's actually where I used to live in Africa. I'll give you three. How we say good morning is Mangwanani. The afternoon is Masakati. The evening is Maneru. Or we can say, for thank you, it's Jvakanaka. Jvakanaka. Makorokoto is congratulations. That is actually Chalapalapa, which is a throw of Shona.
Makashi, Angela, back with time. That was an excellent meeting. Just a wonderful meeting, everybody. I'm going to give the meeting back to our Toastmaster of the day. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much for that, Tiger. And I love the summary of getting all the different languages and our quizzing on it. And exactly, I echo what you say in we are such an international group. And there's just like different culture, different insights, different language coming from every little screen that I'm looking at right now. I love it so much. It makes this club really, really special. Thanks, everyone. And I will now hand over to our president to close out the meeting today.
Thank you, Emmy. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, members, for always be here in the meeting. Thank you, everybody, for step up, taking roles, and let's just stay a little bit after the meeting to have Yasmin to our some of club business. By that, I say meeting urgent.